Good evening, my name is Erika Reza Stoke. I am going to show you and read a fairy tale. Also, I want to say that I know that I have to record the screen of my computer and my face, but the microphone of my computer is damaged. So for that reason, I am going to record with my cell phone. So right now, I'm going to show you the screen of my computer. Okay. Here's the presentation. Diana Norris and the Three Big Dogs, a fairy tale by Erika Rey. Once upon a time, there was a brave girl called Diana Norris. She was on the way to see her best friend Sophia Otto. When she decided to take a shortcut through Vanguardia's forest, it wasn't long before Diana got lost. She looked around, but all she could see were trees. Nervously, she felt into her bag for her favorite toy, Mr. Gorilla. But Mr. Gorilla was nowhere to be found. Diana began to panic. She felt sure she had packed Mr. Gorilla. To make matters worse, she was starting to feel hungry. Unexpectedly, she saw a big dog dressed in a blue coat disappearing into the trees. How odd, thought Diana. For, for the want of anything better to do, she decided to follow the peculiarly dressed dog. Perhaps it could tell him the way out of the forest. Eventually, Diana researched a clearing. She found herself surrounded by houses made from different sorts of food. There was a house made from bananas, a house made from biscuits, a house made from French fries, and a house made from donuts. Diana could feel her tummy rumbling. Looking at the houses did nothing to ease her hunger. Hello, she called. Is anybody there? Nobody replied. Diana looked at the roof on the closet's house and wondered if it would be rude to eat somebody else's chimney. Obviously, it would be impolite to eat a whole house, but perhaps it will be considered acceptable to nibble the odd fixture or lick the odd fighting in a time of need. A cackle broke through the air, giving Diana a fright. A wish jumped into the space in front of the houses. She was carrying a cage. In that cage was Mr. Gorilla. Mr. Gorilla, shouted Diana. She turned to the wish. That's my toy. The wish just suggested. Sure did. Give Mr. Gorilla back, cried Diana. Not on your Nelly, said the wish. At least let Mr. Gorilla out of the cage. Before she could reply, three big dogs rushed in front of a footpath on the other side of the clearing. Diana recognized it, the one in the blue coat that she had seen earlier. The wish seemed to recognize him too. Hello, big dog, said the wish. Good morning, the dog noticed Mr. Gorilla. Who is this? That's Mr. Gorilla, explained the wish. Oh, Mr. Gorilla, would you? Would look lovely in my house. Give it to me, demanded the dog. The wish shook her head. Mr. Gorilla is staying with me. Excuse me, Diana interrupted. Mr. Gorilla lives with me, and not in a cage. Big Dog ignored her. Is there nothing you'll trade? He asked the wish. The wish threw for a moment, then said, I do like to be entertained. I'll release him to anybody who can eat a wall from door. Big Dog looked at the house made from donuts and said, "No problem. I could eat an entire house made from donuts if I wanted to." "That's nothing," said the next dog. "I could eat two houses." "There's no need to show off," said the witch. "Just eat one from door and I'll let you have Mr. Gorilla." Diana watched, feeling very worried. She didn't want that the witch to give Mr. Gorilla to Big Dog. She didn't think Mr. Gorilla would like living with a big dog, away from her house and all her other toys. The other two dogs watched while Big Dog put on his bib and withdrew a knife and fork from his pocket. "I'll eat this whole house," said Big Dog. "Just you watch." Big Dog pulled off a corner of the front door of the house made from biscuits. He gulped it down, smiling, and went back for more, and more, and more. Eventually, Big Dog started to get bigger, just a little bit bigger at first, but after a few more forkfuls of biscuits, he grew to the size of a large snowball, and he was every bit as round. Um, I don't feel too good, said Big Dog. Suddenly, he started to roll. He'd round so round, and he could no longer balance. "Help!" he cried, as he rolled off town and slopped into the forest. A big dog never finished eating the front door made from biscuits, and Mr. Gorilla remained trapped in the wish cage. Average Dog stepped up and approached the house made from French fries. "I'll eat this whole house," said Average Dog. "Just you watch." Average Dog pulled off a corner of the front door of the house made from French fries. She gulped it down, smiling, and went back for more and more and more. After a while, Average Dog started to look a little queasy. She grew greener and greener. A woodcutter walked into the clearing. "What's this Bush doing here?" he asked. "I'm not Bush, I'm a dog," said Average Dog. "It talks!" exclaimed the woodcutter. "Those talking bushes are the worst kind. I'd better take it away before somebody gets hurt." "No, wait!" cried Average Dog, as the woodcutter picked her up. But the woodcutter ignored her cries and carried the dog away under his arms. Average Dog never finished eating the front door made from French fries, and Mr. Gorilla remained trapped in the witch's cage. Little Dog stepped up and approached the house made from donuts. "I'll eat this whole house," said Little Dog. "Just you watch." Little Dog pulled off a corner of the front door of the house made from donuts. He gulped it down, smiling, and went back for more and more and more. After 5 or 6 platefuls, Little Dog started to get uncomfortable on the spot. He stopped eating donuts for a moment, then grabbed another forkful. But before he could eat it, there came an almighty roar, a bottom barb louder than a rocket taking off, propelled Little Dog into the sky. "Ah!" cried Little Dog. "I'm scared of it." Little Duck never finished eating the front door made from donuts, and Mr. Gorilla remained entrapped in the wish cage. That's it, said the witch. I win. I get to pick Mr. Gorilla. Not too fast, said Diana. There is still one front door to go. The front door of the house made from bananas, and I haven't had a turn yet. I don't have to give you a turn, laughed the witch. My game, my rules. The woodcutter's voice carried through the forest. I think you should give her a change. It's only fair. Fine, said the witch. But you saw what happened to the dogs. She won't last long. I'll be right back, said Diana. What? Said the witch. Where is your sense of impatience? I thought you wanted Mr. Gorilla back. Diana ignored the wish and gathered a hefty pile of sticks. She came back to the clearing and started a small campfire. Carefully, she broke a piece of the door of the house made from bananas and toasted it over the fire. Once it had cooked and cooled just a little, she took a bit. She quickly devoured the whole piece. Diana sat down and nearly long. You failed, cackled the witch. You were supposed to eat the whole door. I haven't finished it, explained Diana. I'm just waiting for my food to go down. When Diana's food had digested, she broke off another piece of the door made from bananas. Once more, she toasted her food over the fire and waited for it to cool just a little. She ate it at a leisurely pace, then waited for it to digest. Eventually, after several sittings, Diana was down to the final piece of the door made from bananas. Carefully, she toasted it and allowed it to cool just a little. She finished her final course. Diana had eaten the entire front door of the house made from bananas. The witch stamped her foot angrily. You must have tricked me, she said. I don't reward cheating. I don't think so, said the voice. It was the woodcutter. He walked back into the clearing, carrying his eggs. This little girl won't fail and swear. Now hand over Mr. Gorilla, or I will chop your broomstick in half. The witch looked horrified. She grabbed her broomstick and placed it behind her. Then, she opened the door of the cage. Diana hurried over and grabbed Mr. Gorilla, shaking that her favorite toy was all right. Fortunately, Mr. Gorilla was unharmed. Diana took the woodcutter, grabbed and a quick souvenir, and hurried on to meet Sophia. It was starting to get dark. When Diana got to Sophia's house, her best friend threw her arms around her. I was so worried, cried Sophia. You are very late. As Diana described her day, she could tell that Sophia didn't believe her. So she grabbed a napkin from her pocket. What's that? Asked Sophia. Diana unwrapped a doorknob made from biscuits. Pudding, she said. Sophia almost fell off her chair. The end. Thanks for listening to my fairy tale. Have a good night. Bye bye.